How's it going? Everything good?
I guess so.
How's everything been going out right now? Like,
It's been pretty crazy. I never thought someone as normal as him would get killed.
and why is that?
He just seemed like a normal guy, Would say hi to me all the time, got his newspaper, mowed his lawn every Sunday. Just seemed like your average Joe that, wouldn't really be killed by someone like this.
Just like just any other guy in the neighborhood?
Pretty much, yeah. Just a normal guy.
Any family?
Not that I know of. He was very secretive. He never really talked to any of us other than to say hello in the morning. And maybe if he saw me when he got back from work, he worked 9 to 5 like every other person. Go, just lock himself in his house and that's it.
Can you describe to us what you saw? We hear that you were the only witness to have seen what was going on.
Well, I was asleep. I'd say it happened around late at night. I can't exactly pinpoint it, but I woke up to gunshots. So I look out my window and I could see into his window. The curtains were completely open, the blinds were open and everything. I saw two figures, one ginger and then one black-haired. And it seemed like they were pointing something at him and he was fighting back. And then eventually, right when they shot and killed him, I'm assuming, I ran to the phone to call the police. And when I came back, they had already left and they were driving off in what seemed to be a red car. Can't exactly point out what kind of car it was. I'm not a car guy, but that's basically what happened. It was really crazy. Never thought I'd see something in a neighborhood like this.
Alright, well, thank you for telling us this information and we'll try to use it to the best of our ability.
Alright, thank you.
Bruh. Alright, so welcome to this edition of MTV Forensic Files. So what we about to do is we about to investigate this whole scene that just took place because a man just freaking died, but his body's already in the body bag, but I'm about to take you through the scene of exactly what just happened. Let's go. Alright, so Exhibit A, number 1. There's a bloody knife on the floor, and from early forensic units that have already been here, it looks as though there was, there's a blood stain over here with a knife, but assuming from what we got from number 2, which is both bullets that we found at the scene, we've seen that this is a bullet coming from an AK, determined by how long it is and such. We're still trying to determine where the actual weapon of use was, but as far as we know, we have both bullets. This one coming from a Glock. And going back to the Exhibit A, since the shooting happened from this angle, obviously we can assume that the man was trying to protect himself and threw a knife at the individual who was shooting. So we have what we're assuming so right now is probably like the blood stain that came from the man who was shooting from this angle. And you can come up here and see that after he got shot, he obviously lied down his hand for a second, and we have a bit of a thumbprint. It's kind of a misprint, but it's still a thumbprint nonetheless. And if you keep following me over here, yes, the man in the body bag is kind of naked low-key, but we have a bloody t-shirt, exhibit number 4. Now technically I would be wearing gloves for this, but for the case of this video, we have the blood and how many times this man got shot. This man got lit up. Lit up. It was not a good time, but man's got lit. And now if you can follow me to exhibit 5, we have where this man legit just died. This man I don't even know how this happened to yourself, bro, but you died. So obviously we have the man's blood of the victim, Dinkelberg. And man's really just got clapped, to be honest with you. There ain't much left to say. We have his blood, we have what I'm assuming is the other, the assaulter's blood. We have the bullets, we have, the victim's shirt, and the thumbprint. And so we're gonna take this all back to the lab. And after review and suspects that we've gotten from the neighbors, now everything should be being figured out pretty soon, and we should have our answers on who might have done it pretty soon. This is your boy, the forensic investigator, Bobby Boy, and what I'm about to tell you is the stuff that we found at this crime scene. Because this crime scene was hella, like, it was kind of scary, to be honest. I never even seen a man get blown up like this. This man was shot up, and so what we found were 2 bullets. Well, it was a bunch of bullets, but we were able to match 2 bullets to 2 separate guns. An AK and a Glock. And we also found a knife on the floor and a pool of blood, which had a different blood type than that of the suspect. And it was completely separate from like across the room. So obviously this knife had to be like flung out. And what we found, it was O negative. And Dinkelberg is not O negative. So that's how we know he's not that. Dinkelberg is actually A positive. And one of the suspects happens to be O negative, and that is Idris Nigeria. Alright, now as for our last piece of evidence that we found at the scene of the crime, it was what separate blood we had left, or that we could test. We performed the gel electrophoresis on it. And what we found that suspect 4, Frank Ford, his DNA matches up with that of what we found there. And what we now know is that Frank drives a red car, which is what was seen driving away after the neighbor had reported the crime. So that brings the question is, this is really kind of leaning towards if Frank and Flynn did it.
Oh shit.
Alright, suspect 1, Trollius, one of the Bow brothers. Please introduce to the camera who you are.
Yes. I'm Lord Trollius, and I'm also blind.
Alright, can you please tell us what you were doing the night of December 16th, 1991?
Well, me and my brother were bathing at that night. As I do not have arms, so I cannot reach my bottom. He had to wash my bottom for me, as well as my feet, as they get very crusty throughout the day.
And you have no idea about what happened that night about Dinkelberg?
Well, after we bathed, we went to watch Teletubbies. And we drank warm milk. So, no, I do not know what happened.
You guys don't know anything about any gunshots, any, screaming, and nothing?
No, sir. Loud noises make me have a temper tantrum.
And do you know this man Dinkelberg at all?
Dinkelberg. Does not ring a bell.
Alright, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Suspect 2, Idris Nigeria. Please take a seat and introduce yourself to the camera.
Hello, my name is Lord Idris Nigeria.
And you're the brother of Lord Trollius.
Lord Trollius Nigeria, that is my amputee brother.
Alright, and what were you doing the night of December 16th, 1991?
Well, if I can recall correctly, I was washing and bathing my amputee brother, Lord Trollius Nigeria.
And you have no memory of a man called Dinkelberg?
I don't think I do. I usually spend my time looking after and washing the bum of my brother, Lord Trollius Nigeria.
Alright, and did you hear any gunshots the night of this attack?
No, I did not.
Nothing.
I don't remember any gunshots. All I remember is the sound of me washing the bum of Lord Trollius Nigeria.
Alright, well, that is all we need to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Suspect 3, Flynn Flanagan. Please take a seat.
Alright.
Introduce yourself.
Do I really have to still...
Please introduce yourself, sir.
My name's Flynn Flanagan.
And where were you the night of October 16th, 1991?
I was out with a couple of friends making music.
Do you know a man named Dinkelberg?
Yes, I know a man named Dinkelberg. He lives down the street from us.
And do you know of the gunshots that happened that night?
No, I don't, because I was out with a couple of friends.
Do you have a friend who is redhead?
Yes.
May I have his name, please?
His name is Frank.
Frank. Does he have a last name?
Yes, it's Bingleton.
Bingleton. And do you know of any reason why anyone would want to target Dinkelberg?
No, I have no idea. He's a creep. He's like that man from Monster House, like Old Man Nevercrack. He never like comes out of his house. He's just literally all he does is get the newspaper, drink a coffee, and goes back in his house.
Interesting. Well, thank you. That is all we needed.
All right, can I go now?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
We've been sent here.
To kill you.
What? Why? Why?
Where's the goddamn money at?
I don't know.
You know whose money you're messing with?
No?
You know a man by the name of Mr. Wallace?
I think so.
All right, well tell me what he looked like.
He's tall.
All right,
I think he's like 6 foot.
6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Not 6'1", not 5'11"?
Mm-hmm.
6 foot.
Yeah.
All right, what else he look like?
He's black.
All right, now tell me, does he look like a bitch?
What?
Does he look like a bitch?
No.
All right, so then why are you trying to fuck him like a bitch?
What?
Bro, you want me to bust a cap?
No.
You want me to bust your kneecaps?
No.
All right, well tell me where the goddamn money is.
I
Or else
don't
my man
know.
Sebastian over here's gonna have to, do a little something to your face.
I swear I don't know.
I'm done playing this game. Where the fuck is the money at, bro?
It's over in the freaking pillowcase, dude.
All right, check the pillowcase. I'm gonna keep this man on lock right now, bro.
Man.
The bag has been secured.
We got it?
The bag has been secured.
All right.
Well, let's finish what we came here to do.
All right.
Bitch.
Go.
NYPD, put your hands up!
Whoa.
Get down on the ground. Down on the ground right now, sir.
Whoa.
Down. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you will be provided one for you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you?
Yes.
With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak?
No.
So these are the real culprits, Flynn Flanagan and Frank Ford. They murdered Mr. Dinkelberg on the fateful night of December 16th, 1991. Do you have anything to say for yourselves, men?
Don't do drugs.
Shut up.